Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. As per usual, I will be going over my normal schedule of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omexigo, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA. All of those in a more detailed technical analysis on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, I just wanted to mention that I forgot to link TaskFair's website in my previous daily crypto update, so if you're interested in their token launch, there will be a link in the description this time, so definitely go check them out. And other than that, let's get right into the general market update. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are pulling back a little bit. We can see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are mostly flat now, but they did pull back overnight. And that was pretty much in line with my prediction of my previous daily crypto update, where I said that, of course, the main three here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, we're going to fall back a bit, and that's what happened. So we'll see how that plays out, but Bitcoin and Ethereum are coming back up. Other than that, the big mover today is Ripple, up 76%, getting very close to $1. Very big move by Ripple, had a massive breakout here, continued its bull run. And I think that Ripple is making a lot of nice moves right now. And what I mean by that is it's really placing itself in the right places, I think, to really benefit in the future here. And I know that it's a controversial cryptocurrency. I personally didn't really like Ripple at first, but I changed my mind on Ripple not that long ago, and I think that that was the right decision because, I mean, look at what it's doing, right? It's now the third biggest cryptocurrency out there. So this is very telling, and I think that it'll have a lot of better news coming out in the near future. Of course, one of the things that made this jump happen was some news that South Korea and Japanese banks were going to test Ripple's payment systems. So that was one thing amongst, of course, the good technicals that it's been having. So it's just looking really good right now, and I don't think, people like to hate on Ripple because it's sort of connected to traditional banks, but I think that that's the wrong way to go about it, right? And like I said, I won't get into too much details in this video, but I'll talk a little bit more about Ripple in a video that I might make later today. Other than that, IOTA still moving lower here after the Microsoft drama and down about 11%, going back towards $3.50. Not great, unfortunately. Dash getting very close to $1,000. Still doing well here. And Cardano, another big mover today, up 54%, above 20 cents now, and still doing really well. I think this one is going to climb much higher moving forward. So it's been acting well. And by the way, I think I'm going to link my two price prediction videos, my updated price prediction videos for both Ripple and Cardano. And those are they going to go over $1 in 2018? So definitely check those out. Those will be in the comments below. Otherwise, what basically happened today was, like I predicted in my previous daily crypto update, the big three here, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, did pull back quite a bit. And any cryptocurrencies that were either, kind of struggling while those three were doing really well seem to be getting their bounce today, right? So those are cryptocurrencies like Neo. I called that in my previous daily crypto update. And let's see, Lisk as well, doing really well here, up 11%. So actually a lot of the smaller altcoins are doing pretty well here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but let's get right into the technical analysis of Bitcoin. And we can see that it's currently consolidating, basically. It's not doing too bad because we're getting a nice bounce off our short-term uptrend line over here. Of course, when it's a short-term uptrend line like this, it's a bit steeper and a bit harder to actually, maintain the price above. But for now, that's happening. And let me see, I'm kind of messing up my charts here, but as long as I would say, as long as we hold above this $15,814 support level right over here, that's all we really need for the time being, right? And I think that it doesn't look like we're going to get some kind of massive weakness just yet. So pretty quickly here, we should see Bitcoin start to move back up, right? And that's really where I see it heading in the near future. So let me just see and bring back my indicators here. Now, we can see that they're trying to recover a little bit. They obviously took a hit after, our drop here in consolidation. So the MACD is starting to move back a little bit lower, but it's relatively flat right now, so no major move back to the orange line. Histogram is still moving lower, and the RSI did not move below the 70 line, so that's actually a good sign. It hasn't really managed to break above its downtrend line, but maybe that'll happen. For now, though, it's probably going to hang around here for just a little bit longer. And yeah, like I said, what we're really going to be looking for at this point is, can we get some kind of really stronger bounce back above $16,644, at which point we can get back towards our all-time high, right? What's good after we have this bit of consolidation is that we now have some room to move back up towards the upper Bollinger Band. So that might not happen right away, but it is looking, relatively strong here, and it didn't even pull back that much, but, like I said, there's a lot of things that are holding up the Bitcoin prices, and it looks like that's going to continue right now. So let's see what's been happening with Ethereum. Looks like Ethereum is facing a little bit of trouble here at the $715 resistance level. It has moved above that today, but didn't manage to hold. Now, moving forward, I think that we are probably going to consolidate a little bit longer here for Ethereum, just because we're currently trading above the upper Bollinger Band, which is a very hard area to sustain. And especially seeing that we're experiencing some weakness here, not really able to break above $715, probably going to have to consolidate or drop a little bit lower. Now, of course, if there's a lot of strength, we could continue to spike back up and hold above the upper Bollinger Band. But if we don't see any kind of massive traction, we're probably going to re-enter the Bollinger Band range, similar to what we did over here, right? And other than that, indicators, MACD is still looking okay, but the RSI is now starting to fall back below 80 right now. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but probably going to get a bit of consolidation. Like I said, probably something very similar to what we had over here, right? Where we just re-enter in a pretty flat manner back into the Bollinger Band range. And let's take a look now. It's what's been going on with Litecoin. So Litecoin getting a pretty nasty pullback here, which, I mean, is completely normal considering the fact that it got such a massive increase. So I think that this is a good thing. Obviously, if you're holding Litecoin, you're probably not liking this, but it is a good thing long term. You need to get these pullbacks, and I'm not gonna lie, the prices are pretty high right now. I'm not used to this new range, and I probably wouldn't buy them up here. But if we get a bounce off this short-term uptrend line, which is of course the steeper one, it'll probably move back up, towards $350. Right now, we just have to see, is it going to manage to hold above this uptrend line? It's currently dipping a little bit below that. So it could go either way. Either we're going to get a strong bounce off that, but it's looking more like we're going to start falling back towards this second trend line over here, right? So a bounce off this one is going to be more likely at this point. And we can see that the RSI is actually falling much lower here, breaking back below the uptrend line. Going to hit 70 pretty soon, so we'll see if we can get a bounce off that. But yeah, I mean, unless we get a bounce here in the short term, we're probably going to go back towards that secondary trend line, which is completely fine. Otherwise, let's get to the big mover here, which is Ripple. And wow, massive candlestick. So you can really see the breakout that it had. Of course, a lot of consolidation here, especially when we look back on a little bit longer of a time frame. We can see that it's really been going up, it's really been consolidating for quite a while. And that actually proved to be a pretty healthy way to go about things, because it allowed to really form a nice base to get this massive breakout. So right now what we're seeing, MACD completely taking off, RSI actually above the 90 line, which is a very hard level to sustain, and let's say I think the upper Bollinger Band is somewhere over here near 50 cents. So obviously this is a very overextended move, but it is a breakout, so it is sort of normal. In this scenario, we put in an all-time high today. Let's see, was this an all-time high? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think we put in an all-time high today, a new all-time high of 91 cents. So that's going to be our next resistance level to see if we can break above. Of course, we are in blue sky breakout mode right now, which means that there are no previous resistance levels that are set. The only one would be the high that we put in today. So there's really no telling how far it can go. It just depends if there's a strength to buy up the prices. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to really make any calls for a pullback. Of course, it is overextended. I think that's pretty logical at this point, but I'm pretty bullish on Ripple, to be honest, right? I mean, I called the move not that long ago that it was going to start breaking out, and that's what looks like it's happening. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll pull back a little bit, but right now it has a lot of strength. It's still in blue sky breakout, so I don't want to really make any calls that it's going to drop lower just yet. It is actually looking pretty strong considering the move that it had. So we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, I do think that Ripple will get above $1, relatively soon. It may take a little bit longer than expected, but I think that, probably within the next month or two at the most, we're going to be above $1 on Ripple. So even if there is a small pullback here, I don't think that that's going to be very meaningful. Yeah, like I said, I think we'll see Ripple above $1 pretty shortly here. Let's go over and see what's been going on with, let's see, NEO. So NEO actually got a pretty nice move as well here. Put in a high today of $56.22. That is a new high here in the short term. So we're definitely making a higher high, higher low pattern, which is good. Really back into an uptrend here and getting very close, like I expected, to our all-time highs. So we're actually testing to move above this $50 mark, basically, which is obviously a pretty big resistance level and kind of our last big resistance level before really making it back to our all-time highs. And I think that it might struggle a little bit to hold above it. We'll have to see how it plays out. Of course, it did sell off quite a bit from its higher levels, but I think that, pretty shortly here we will see it get back to its all-time highs around $58 and really just break out to new all-time highs at this point. It was kind of falling behind a lot of other cryptos in the past couple weeks compared to Litecoin, Bitcoin, and stuff like that. So it's finally getting its time to shine here, and I think that it will be able to make new all-time highs pretty quickly. So MACD looking good here, finally a strong crossover above the orange line. Histogram moving back up. We're moving above a lot of resistance on the RSI, above the 67 mark and above the uptrend line. Currently trying to move above the downtrend line. So it's looking pretty strong here. Like I said, it might have a little bit of trouble just yet to move above this $50 mark, but we should see that pretty quickly here and then pretty much off to all-time highs after that. So let's take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be, let's see, I have to pull out my list here. It's getting pretty long, and it's going to be Vertcoin. So let's take a look at what's been going on with Vertcoin. I believe that, yeah, it's been consolidating a bit here. So pretty much flat today. It did move quite a bit, moved back towards our $7.21 support level over here. This is the pink line. And that's pretty much in line right now with our middle band that's currently sitting at $7.10. So there is quite a bit of support in that area. And other than that, we can see that our MACD has been moving lower here. And I'm not too worried about that because it looks like it is going to hold above the $7.21 support level at this point. And we can see that we actually put in a double bottom in the past two candlesticks. That's actually a good sign. That means that people are really holding that price level. So we may not see a jump just yet. Of course, it is a doji candlestick, so that could happen. But at this point, it is looking more likely. It's not acting super strong, so we're probably just going to see some consolidation like I expected. Probably something very similar to over here where we just trade in between this $9.36 range and $7.21, probably really holding somewhere about around $8 specifically. And yeah, as far as the middle band is concerned, that's probably going to flatten out towards $8 as well. Yeah, RSI looking pretty flat also. So probably just some consolidation here for Vertcoin. The price action has been kind of confirming my theory over the past couple days. I'm not too worried about it. I'm still buying at these prices. Let's see what's been happening with Monero now. And let's see. Monero looks like it is moving higher once again, up about 6.5%, put in a high today of $355.27. So that is a little bit under our previous all-time high, put in a little bit of a double top there, which shows that it wasn't able to really make it above that price level just yet, which is okay, but it is something to pay attention to, right? Double tops are never a good sign. Other than that, it is still looking pretty strong. We're still above the 75 mark on the RSI, still looking really good, uptrending really nicely on the MACD, broke above the downtrend line on the histogram, which is very important at this point because it shows that this is probably going to hold up pretty nicely. And, at this point, we're holding above this very sharp and steep uptrend line right over here, which is, I don't even know how it's really managing to sustain above that, but we're probably going to just see it continue to climb higher. Things could slow down a little bit if it sees some weakness where we could maybe go based more off this trajectory right over here, maybe. This trend line right over here. And yeah, probably just a steady climb like it's been doing back towards its all-time highs. At this point, we'll have to see how it'll act once it hits those areas for a third time. That's going to be very important to not see any kind of pullback there because that would be a triple top. But who knows, it could very well break above, $355 and just go towards 400 now. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see for Monero, but it probably will continue its uptrend here moving forward. Next up is OmiseGO, and let's take a look at what's been going on. So OmiseGO moving above its previous uptrend line, which was acting as resistance, down. That's now going to act as support. Did put in a little bit of a double top as well here at, let's see, around $12.15. Overall, though, it's still moving higher, which is what we wanted to see. It's holding above its pretty steep short-term uptrend line. Now fully positive on the MACD, same thing on the histogram, back in its channel on the RSI, uptrending here. And yeah, I mean, it seems like it's facing a little bit of trouble getting above $11.15, but that should happen pretty quickly here, and we should really move towards $12, hopefully also get back to the all-time highs pretty quickly here, probably within the next month, maybe 2 months just to be safe, but I think in the next month we'll be back above our all-time highs at this point. So definitely looking pretty good here, and finally showing some strength, because it was, having quite a bit of trouble here just a couple days ago. So got a nice, U-shaped bounce and really actually moved back above its previous high over here. So that's really good. Let's see what's been going on with LISC. LISC was very similar to NEO based on my previous daily crypto update analysis, where it was also facing a little bit of trouble here, and we have a little bit of a U-shaped bounce as well. Now fully back above the orange line on the MACD, really moving up nicely here with a lot of strength. Good volume also supporting this move over the past couple days, increasing volume, which is also very important. And of course, uptrending nicely on the histogram. RSI now moving back above 60. Hopefully gonna try to get back above the 70 line, and very close to the all-time highs at this point, right? Our all-time highs are at $12.21. So we're a little bit below that for the time being, but what matters is that we got above this $9 and around 75-cent resistance level previously. Now that's going to be support, and this is actually the first time that we got a nice full move above that. So this time I think we're going to hold and really be able to make it towards all-time highs here pretty quickly. Let's go over to our next crypto, which is going to be Cardano, and then finally IOTA. So Cardano, yet another big mover today. And yeah, pretty much moved like I expected in my previous daily crypto update. So back above 1,000 Satoshis, and MACD getting a very sharp bounce back towards that orange line. When it comes back and tests it for the first time after a bit of a downtrend, it can fail it. At this point, it won't really matter because we already made the big move that we wanted to see, which was really a move above 1,000 Satoshis. And yeah, I mean, we can see back above the 60 line on the RSI. Histogram about to go positive, but I really like the overextended MACD hooks. You know that already. I think that's a really powerful signal, and very strong volume here on this bounce above the daily average. So that's always a good sign as well. Could we get some kind of massive move like we did over here? That's possible. It looks like it is having a little bit of trouble where we had some previous candlesticks over here, which is completely normal, around 1,200 Satoshis. So we'll see if we can get a move above that and hold. It'll probably move, back higher towards maybe 1,500 Satoshis, 1,600 Satoshis, back towards its previous high over here. But it is looking good. So, I mean, I do think it'll move, higher. The strength is yet to be decided, but it probably will get, relatively quickly back above towards its all-time highs at this point. So nothing bad to say about Cardano here. Just got a pretty strong pullback after its nice increase, and yeah, looks like it's going to be putting in a new high here pretty quickly. Let's see what's been going on with IOTA now. Obviously faced a lot of scrutiny over the Microsoft partnership ordeal, and yeah, this is what I said in my previous daily crypto update. I called for the drop below this uptrend line over here. So what happened was we were in a bit of a consolidation and an asymmetrical triangle. And of course, depending on which side the price breaks through, that's going to kind of set the trend, right? And unfortunately for IOTA, we broke to the downside of that triangle with a lot of strength here. And MACD completely pulling lower towards that orange line. Probably going to get a crossover there. Could always see a bounce, but I think that we're probably going to cross over. Maybe get a small bounce and then cross over, because there is this middle band that is going to hopefully hold the price up and get a bounce off that. But people are selling out of IOTA. There's not much else to say. People kind of lost trust in it. Of course, that's not everyone, but it's never a good sign when stuff like that happens. And moving back below the 60 line on the RSI, so probably going to move lower here. We can just see if we're going to get a strong bounce at that middle band, which is currently sitting at $2.80. That's the brown line right over here. If we don't really see much strength there, we're going to move much lower, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, back towards $2, maybe even below that. So definitely not the best signals here for IOTA. With that being said, this is the end of the daily crypto update, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.